I rank 12 Scotch Whiskies into 9 scams and 3 hidden gems. Your $200 Johnnie Walker Blue Label? It's 9 on my avoid list. The one bottle costs $45 and tastes better than anything twice its price. Watch me prove it. Enjoyed the video? Smash that like button and sub so you never miss a drop. 9. Bunnahabhain 12, 50 to 60. If you drop $60 because YouTube said honest Islay with perfect specs, congratulations, you're the mark. Nose hits with overripe strawberry jam on moldy wood sprayed with seawater. First sip attacks with artificial sweetness and vulcanized rubber. Finish delivers hot sulfur from subpar sherry casks, like licking a struck match head. Reddit r/Scotch 2023 flooded with inconsistent batch complaints. Wine Searcher data shows price jumped 22% in 3 years, while quality stayed flat. Retail, US $60, UK £45, Australia $88. Recent batches score 78 to 82 points versus 90-point ratings 5 years ago. Specs on paper look beautiful. Reality is expensive lottery. 8. Talisker 10, 45-55. Talisker 10 used to be Isle of Skye legend. Now it's corporate lobotomy in a bottle. Smoke turned to cold ash. No sea spray power. Just wet burned wood with artificial pepper bite. Finish vanishes like a politician's promise, leaving rough, dried fishbone texture on your tongue. Reddit June 2025 thread, has Talisker 10 actually gotten worse? Filled with brutal testimonies. Underwhelming compared to 15 years ago. Lost depth, very superficial whiskey. YouTuber T8K, May 2024, blunt. Different now, nowhere near the quality. Disappointment. Price jumped 40% since 2015. Some U.S. markets now $80. One commenter, fantastic at $50, reasonable at $60. At $80, Ledaig is superior. Diageo cut quality to boost margins. 7. Highland Park 12, $45 to $60. Highland Park 12 is the whiskey industry's largest psychological experiment. They wanted to know if they could sell the same bottle to opposite groups and make both believe they're right. Half smell heather, honey, florals. The other half smells sulfuric, raw mushrooms soaked in formaldehyde. One Reddit user 2013, like a sweaty gym sock fermenting in the locker for weeks. Dramface, December 2024, gave it 5 out of 10. Weak and short finish, artificial vanilla, blink and you'll miss it. The new 2024 rebrand at 40% ABV received mixed reception. UK retail, £45 for new livery, but older bottles, £25 on clearance. Retail is dumping old stock. Reddit 2023 review, caramel, salty cookies, artificial vanilla that vanishes instantly. This isn't your palate's fault. This is strategy. Produce something so vague, everyone sees what they want. Rorschach test of Scotch. 6. Chivas Regal 12, $35. If Scotch had a CEO of mediocrity with gold wrapper, Chivas Regal 12 would hold that title. Smells like fake honey mixed with industrial alcohol and expired vanilla. First sip delivers grainy, metallic taste like chewing aluminum foil. No complexity, no evolution, just boring straight line. Finish vanishes before you swallow, like a liar leaving the crime scene. Reddit r/Scotch, full of people who escaped the Chivas trap warning newbies. Monkey Shoulder, a $30 blended malt, is burying Chivas on every metric. Scotland whiskey exports dropped 18% first half of 2024. Brands like Chivas hit hardest. Reddit user FredX1G got 29 upvotes. Chivas is way overrated. It actually gives me heartburn. $35 for this is economic crime. You're not drinking whiskey, you're drinking marketing budget. 5. The Dalmore 12. The Dalmore 12 with its silver stag is A+ proof you can sell anything if packaging is pretty enough. That mesmerizing deep mahogany color? E158 caramel coloring. Industrial additive the distillery openly admits.
Artificial fragrance down to every molecule. Cherry syrup, sweet like bubblegum mixed with orange peel. When you drink it, immediate betrayal. 40% ABV, watered down until structure disappears. Finish is void, like a failed Tinder date.
Production costs for 12 years single malt, roughly 11 to 22 pounds per bottle. Retail, US $55 to $70, UK $45 to £60, Australia $70 to $85. That's 200 to 300% markup. Chill filtration, stripped all texture and natural oils. Margin for suppliers, 50 to 55%. For retailers, 75 to 85%. You're paying for packaging, not substance.
Dalmore 12 isn't Scotch, it's furniture. 4. Glenlivet Founders Reserve, $35, $45. Glenlivet Founders Reserve is MBA case study on replacing good product with garbage, keeping price same and escaping consequences through brand recognition. This evil imposter broke into Glenlivet 12's house, murdered it, wore its skin. Everyone noticed. Reddit erupted. Petitions launched. Pernod Ricard panicked and brought 12 back to some markets, but the Founders Reserve monster still exists.
Nose assaults with pear drop chemicals, cheap fruit candy mixed with nail polish remover. First sip bites with raw ethanol, 40% ABV, but feels like 55 because there's no balance. Finish vanishes before you blink. Hurried apology before running away. Reddit 2017 thread, almost everyone trashed Glenlivet Founders Reserve, became legendary warning. Whiskey analysis exposed, no one flushes tens of thousands of liters down the drain.
Time for special Founders Reserve release. Translation: young stock they couldn't use for age statement bottles. Supply chain crisis in a bottle. 3. Glenfiddich 12, 35-45. Glenfiddich 12 is the McDonald's of Scotch. Consistent, accessible, completely unremarkable. ROI isn't in liquid quality, but supply chain optimization and market penetration. Smell of assembly line efficiency. Pear, apple, vanilla following exact SOP. First sip hits with excessive sweetness like artificial sweetener.
Dramface October 2023 exposed chemical-tasting artificial sweetener note that develops into bitterness. Finish like exit slide presentation. Quick, functional, instantly forgotten. Production numbers expose everything. 16 wash stills and 27 spirit stills, producing 21 million liters annually. No other single malt is as large. That's 10 million bottles per year. 43 warehouses on site. Own Cooperage, own Bottling Hall.
Reddit, February 2024. Very basic single malt. Better than most cheap blends, worse than most expensive blends. Scandal. Glenfiddich 12 switched from sherry plus bourbon casks to bourbon only without notice. Textbook integrity compromise. Industrial scale masquerading as tradition. 2. Macallan 12 double cask, $80 to $100. Macallan 12 double cask at $80 to $100 is IQ test. Over 70% of Asian market failed spectacularly.
Sherry profile, sweet as scripted date. Everything expected, zero surprises. Sip at 40% ABV, the slap of dilution. You taste dried fruits, oak, honey, but everything's shallow as inflatable pool. No complexity. Finish is medium short bland spice. Polite conversation forgotten 5 minutes later. Production costs for 12-year single malt, 11 to 22 pounds per bottle. Retail, US $80 to $100. UK 60 to 80 pounds.
Australia $120 to $140, 300 to 500% markup. Edrington makes roughly 2 million bottles annually. Wine Spectator scores 87 to 91 points, but not exceptional for price. Facebook Philippines, Macallan 12 double cast 3,500 pesos, Sherry Oak 4,500. Asians pay premium, quality stays identical. Financial instrument for speculation, not Scotch. 1. Johnnie Walker Blue Label, $200. Johnnie Walker Blue Label at $200 is perfect Zen Cohen. If whiskey is engineered to provoke no emotion, does it even exist? Aroma designed by committee. Bit of smoke, bit of honey, bit of vanilla. Everything at acceptable level, nothing exceeding 6 out of 10. Sip at 40% ABV delivers smoothness to point of soullessness. So smooth and neutral, it could pass for flavored water in blind tasting.
Chill filtration and coloring stripped every trace of personality. Finish, wind passing through. You know something happened, but can't remember what. Diageo sells 1 million cases per year. That's 12 million bottles annually. Design Effectiveness Awards case study revealed Diageo achieved 20% reduction in manufacturing cost in 2019, improving margin by 3 points. They made it cheaper while keeping $200 price.
Rare Discovery Series drove 100% sales increase versus previous year. Packaging redesigns sell more than liquid. Production cost estimates 30 to 50 pounds per bottle. Retail US $180 to $220, 300 to 400% markup. Biggest scam in Scotch, convincing people smooth is worth $200. For $200, buy 4 bottles with real soul or 1 Blue Label for 24-hour Instagram story.
Your choice. Agree or disagree? Let me know below and hit subscribe to stay in the loop.
3 hidden gems to buy. Oban 14, $60 to $70, only on sale. Oban 14 is tragic story of good distilleries sabotaged by its own price tag. At $60, it's a gem. At $80, it's a scam. Shows up at liquor stores with wildly fluctuating prices. 60 here, 80 there. Oban 14 is litmus test for buyer knowledge. If you know to wait for sales and buy at or under 65, you're smart.
If you impulsively buy at 80 because I want it now, you're funding Diageo's marketing department. Here's where depth finally begins. Gentle maritime nose, not aggressive like Islay, but early morning ocean with distant smoke. Touch of citrus peel mixed with malty sweetness. First sip delivers medium body with fruity notes, orange, apple, dancing with smoky undertones. More complex than Glenfiddich, more balanced than Highland Park. Finish is where Oban shines. Medium long with gentle spice and maritime salinity lingering enough to make you want another sip. Reddit, October 2020, definitely prefer this to Highland Park 12 for being a little more complex. But same user continued, I just don't think for $80 where I'm at, it's really worth that price. Nice easy sipper, but not worth 80. I bought mine around 60 to 70, which is more palatable. November 2025 Reddit consensus. If it were priced between 50 and 60 instead of over 80, I'd be enjoying it regularly. YouTube reviewer, October 2024. This was a $90 to $100 bottle a few years back. Now at 65 plus tax, it's actually noticeably cheaper. Only buy Oban 14 when at or under $65. Over 70 is overpaying. At 80, you're doing charity for corporations. Good whiskey can still be bad purchase if timing and price aren't right. 2. Loch Lomond 12. $35 to $45. Loch Lomond 12 at $35 to $45 is living proof real innovation isn't in marketing budgets, but in still design and honesty. While Macallan and Blue Label hire celebrity ambassadors and rent penthouses for photo shoots, Loch Lomond invests in unique straight-neck stills capable of creating multiple spirit styles under one roof. That's real innovation, not marketing bullshit. Open the cap, you meet orchard fruits, apple, pear, fresh and bright. Not fake sweetness, but smell of real sun-kissed fruit. Natural honey notes weave through, and wisp of peat smoke, just enough to intrigue. This is layered complexity. Sip at 46% ABV. Immediately you recognize this as real whiskey. Has body, has texture, has presence. Oils from non-chill filtering coat your palate like velvet. Solid malt biscuit backbone supports fruit and smoke dancing on top. Long finish with toasted oak and gentle spice. Doesn't shout, "I'm expensive." It whispers, "I'm worth your time." Jim Murray's 2017 Whiskey Bible gave it 93.5 out of 100. Gold medal at 2016 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Gold medal at 2017 Berlin International Spirits Competition. Wine Searcher average price, $43. Gold medal verified by independent judges, not paid influencer reviews. 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color. The holy trinity of honest Scotch. At $40, this is the steal of the century. David beating Goliath, a distillery knowing honest specs and liquid quality speak for themselves if drinkers are smart enough to listen. 1. Arran 10, $45 to $55. Best bottle. Arran 10 at $45 to $55 is slap in the establishment's face. A 30-year-old distillery doing what 200-year-old monuments no longer have guts to do. Founded in 1995 on Isle of Arran, an island the old guard mocked as too new, too ambitious. First Spirit ran from stills on June 29, 1995, bringing legal distillation back to Arran after more than 150 years. This distillery did the impossible, proved that integrity doesn't need time, it needs courage. Here's where magic happens. Aroma explodes with bright lemon zest, not artificial citrus, but freshly peeled lemon. Essential oils spraying into air. Creamy vanilla weaves through like ribbon, and malt biscuit backbone toasty warm like fresh-baked cookies. Everything vibrant, modern, alive. Sip at 46% ABV, the sweet spot. You feel full body with natural oil texture coating palate because non-chill filtered. Honeyed malt dances with orchard fruits, hints of coconut, and gentle spice. This is whiskey with personality, but not aggressive. Complex, but not pretentious. Medium-long finish with toasted oak, vanilla, and touch of black pepper. Invites you back not from addiction, but from appreciation. Arran 10-year-old has racked up more than 50 gold medals around the world. 95 points, gold medal, New York International. Higher than Macallan 12, $87 to $89. Higher than Glenlivet 12, $82 to $85. Natural color, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, the holy trinity. Reddit comments full of pride. Arran 10 is my go-to. I bought 3 times the 10, 2 times quarter cask. Arran, the Bothy is my go-to dram, rich and full-flavored, at $45 to $55. Arran 10 doesn't just beat every bottle on this list for value. It proves Scotch's future doesn't belong to distilleries living on past heritage. It belongs to those brave enough to do the right thing from start. This is number one, not because it's perfect, but because it's honest. And in 2025, honesty is the rarest thing in this industry. Comment section below will be war zone. I know. People whose favorite bottles just got torched will call me pretentious asshole, doesn't know real Scotch, just another YouTuber chasing controversy. And I welcome all of it, because every angry comment is confirmation I hit a nerve. For those who agree, drop the name of the bottle you wasted money on before and the bottle you'll try next.